WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Severe storms swept through parts of the viewing area today, prompting tornado warnings and causing some damage, including a downed tree and flooded roads in Oktibbeha County. For the very latest on tonight's weather, looking ahead to tomorrow, we send things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Hey there, Keith.
Hey, Scott. This evening, the severe weather threat, I think, for our area is done. Yes, we are still looking at some showers and thunder showers out there, but I do think that strong storm risk has pushed off to our southeast just barely at this point, because we go down towards Meridian. There's still a severe thunderstorm warning for areas near Meridian and Kemper County. That storm cell is actually moving to the northeast, probably paralleling I-2059. So in general, we are doing okay. Temperatures are cooling on down, and we will continue to cool on down for tonight. And most of us should be in the 40s later on. The showers and storms exit, but there will be some lingering around. Tomorrow, much colder than today. Look at this. 40s in many spots, lots of clouds, some breezes, and even a few showers too. We'll have that full forecast coming up.
We're learning new details tonight about the investigation involving a former Eupora educator charged with rape. New tonight, we're also getting a look at her mugshot. Investigators allege 32-year-old Kayla Tyndall had sex with a 14-year-old this past October. Last week, Webster County Superintendent Brian Jones said school administrators learned of the allegations against Tyndall. Family members of an alleged victim tell WCBI the teacher was paying for sexual favors. Tyndall is out on a $50,000 bond. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation brought the charge after assisting the Webster County Sheriff's Office. Hurt, mad, and disgusted. That's how one mother is describing her reaction after finding out her teenage son was allegedly having a secret relationship with that former Eupora High School teacher. A second alleged victim has come forward in the Kayla Tyndall case, and our Cash Matlock has an exclusive interview with the mother of the teenager. She says secret messages and meetings between the two lasted almost 5 months, and in her opinion, the Webster County School District and area law enforcement aren't doing enough.
Mad. I'm still mad.
This is the voice of a hurt mother. Last Friday, she got a concerning call from the Eupora High School principal, telling her she needed to have a conversation with her son, giving little context as to why.
He told me what happened. He told me he's been talking, having sex with this woman, and they've been having phone conversations, and she was giving him money.
The woman, who did not want her face to be shown, claims former teacher Kayla Tyndall allegedly gave him $500 in exchange for sex.
He asked her why does she want to talk with him, and she said that she liked the feeling that he gives her, the attention that he gives her.
She says Tyndall manipulated her son.
I think he was in love with her. I think he really cared for her. She manipulated him. Yes, she did. She gave him money to do it, big money that I wouldn't give him at 15. $500, it's a lot of money.
When the school found out last week, her son says the principal called him in and looked through some of the messages on his phone. Then the principal reportedly recorded what he saw onto his own cell phone.
I do know the principal, he recorded it from what my son said. He recorded it off his phone. I wasn't present at the time. I feel like I should have been present.
She says neither the school district nor the police have handled the situation appropriately.
I feel like they're trying to cover for her, give her a chance, and that's not fair because these are minor children. These are minors. And y'all didn't take a mug shot. Y'all not taking this serious. And I don't understand why. If this had been a black person, I'm being honest, we would have been in handcuffs. We'd have had mug shots, fingerprints. Oh gosh, we would still be in jail right now.
Now, this mother also tells us she tried to file an affidavit with new charges with the Eupora Police Department today. That was turned away. They told her she would have to speak with someone with the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation. The former director of the Mississippi Department of Human Services and others are arrested in a multi-million-dollar embezzlement scheme. State Auditor Shad White announced the arrest of John Davis and indictments today after an 8-month investigation. Well, former DHS employee Latimer Smith and Dr. Nancy New owner and director of the Mississippi Community Education Center and New Learning were also indicted. Zach New, Annie McCrew, and MCEC and Brett Diabas were also indicted. Investigators, they claim the group conspired to illegally obtain millions in public funds from the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families program. White says the group used a variety of business entities and schemes to defraud taxpayers. Now, the exact amount of money allegedly lost has not been determined. If convicted on all accounts, the group faces hundreds of years in prison. Conditions in Mississippi prisons continue to be a concern at the state and federal level. The Department of Justice Civil Rights Division announced today it's opening an investigation into conditions in 4 Mississippi prisons, including the state penitentiary at Parchman. The other prisons under the investigation include the Mississippi Correctional Institute, Central Mississippi Correctional Facility, and the Wilkinson County Correctional Facility. The investigation will focus on whether MDOC fails to adequately protect prisoners from harm from other inmates or suicide. It will also look to see if prisoners have access to mental health care. The investigation will be done under the Civil Rights Institutionalized Persons Act. All right, we're going to send things back over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Keith, how are things looking out there tonight?
Things simmering down for us right now, and wouldn't you like to snuggle up?
Definitely.
Well, wouldn't that be great here tonight to snuggle up and not have to worry about the areas of weather that we had around here? Ziggy doing that right here. That's what we want to do. Tomorrow, you may want to do that. Temperatures in the 40s in many spots here, lingering showers. A little bit of sunshine Friday, a few more showers Saturday. Your full forecast is next.
AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Some rain and storms around the region today. Here's our Alpha Insurance Camera Network. Our time lapse from Columbus showing the fast moving clouds. We actually had that tornado warning storm move through the Columbus area. The siren sounded again in Lowndes County. But right now we are looking at the heaviest rain over here into Pickens County, Alabama. Also a heavier storm cell down here near Meridian and southern parts of Kemper County. Still a severe thunderstorm warning out with that, but I think for the most part we are done with the strong activity here, and that's what we are banking on at this point. Now, we're not done with the rain completely. We saw some showers back to the west, and these will continue during the night into tomorrow morning, and there may be a little bit of thunder and lightning in that, but I think at this point that severe weather threat for our coverage area is done. Rainfall wise, well, anywhere from a half inch to over 2 inches. Some spots likely getting over 3 inches of rain over the last 24 hours, and we had a pretty good light show out there this evening. There's a flash right there near Starkville, also another one near Starkville, and there's some spooky looking lower clouds there moving through West Point earlier this evening. We still have some low clouds out there tonight. We have one big batch of storms come out of Atala County, moving to Choctaw and Tibaha counties and into Lowndes County. And then we actually had another cluster develop out towards Oxford and move across the northern reaches, one of which actually had some interesting radar signature values here just after 5 o'clock near Tishomingo in Tishomingo County. You can see this circle right here. There's Tishomingo, and that basically tells us from a radar perspective a pretty good signature that we likely had a tornado touchdown up there. We don't have any confirmation on that as of yet, but if you have some damage, we'd like to know about it. That was the strongest radar signature we had in our coverage area today. Temperature is cooling down. The front is now through Columbus. It's almost through Noxubee County. There's the updated numbers right here. So there's a frontal boundary moving on through, and that will kick out the unstable air. So winning out will be this cold air already down to 43 in Oxford, and much, much colder snow back to the northwest. And yes, there could be a few snowflakes around here tomorrow night. Don't panic, don't freak out, but there could be a few snowflakes with the cloud deck that holds on. Tomorrow, 40s, if we're lucky, maybe a shot at the low 50s. Rain chances highest in the morning, gradually tapering off, but as we get into tomorrow evening, some of those sprinkles may turn into some sprinkles mixed with a few snowflakes here. So the front is on the way out. We'll have some showers lingering tonight and tomorrow morning. And as we get into the day tomorrow, a lot of cloud cover here and some wraparound moisture tomorrow night may give rise to a few more showers, maybe a few snowflakes here before we clear things out Friday with a little bit of sunshine. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. So 40s tomorrow in many spots, 53 Friday, a few showers Saturday, 56. Sunny and sun and clouds 66 Sunday, and we may see some more active weather next week, 60s and 70s. There's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast.
Well, high school athletes are signing on the dotted line to take their games to the next level. We find out who's going where a little bit later in sports.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. Cholesterol, it's a big deal when it comes to a healthy heart. We learn more tonight in our Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Brianna Cooper, a clinical dietitian at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. Remember that a heart-healthy diet includes low fat, low cholesterol, and low sodium. Cholesterol is a soft, waxy substance found among fats circulating in your bloodstream. Cholesterol is found in animal products such as fatty meats, eggs, milk, cheese, and shrimp. It is recommended to limit your intake of cholesterol to less than 200 milligrams per day. Cholesterol amounts can be found on the nutrition facts label on a food's package. Certain health conditions, your lifestyle, and your family history can increase your risk for high blood cholesterol. Some of these risk factors cannot be controlled, like your age or family history. But you can take steps to lower your risk for high cholesterol by changing things you can control. Here are some tips for reducing your risk for high blood cholesterol. Limiting intake of saturated and trans fats, consuming 20 to 30 grams of fiber per day. Good sources of fiber include fruits, vegetables, beans, and whole grain products. Choose non-fat or low-fat dairy products such as 1% or skim milk and low-fat yogurt and cheese. Choose leaner types of meat such as chicken, turkey, or fish. Use egg whites instead of whole eggs. Try to include a meatless meal at least once a week. Substitute beans or tofu for meat entrees. Limit fried foods and choose healthier cooking options such as baked, grilled, or roasted more often. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist when we will discuss sodium.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
More than 10 locations, more than 50 athletes will take you all around Northeast Mississippi for National Signing Day 2020. That's coming up next in sports.
With Tom Ebel.
Welcome to National Signing Day 2020 Northeast Mississippi edition. Rufus Harvey signs with Mississippi State. And then a little bit of drama for you out of Starkville. Tyrese Hopkins flips from Arkansas State to Southern Miss. Those two a part of a massive signing class at Starkville. 14 jackets. Josh Aka to EMCC, Tavante Bond to Holmes, Kyrie G to Hines, Max Heitch to ICC, Jaquan Jenkins to Coahoma, Tay Lucius to EMCC, Jalen Ware to Hines, Justin Robinson to Holmes, Peyton Rogers and Orion Thompson to EMCC, Ashton Wilson to Holmes, and Chris White to Jones. We're just getting started. To Tupelo, 4 guys signed to Division I football. Trip Wilson and Hayes Hammond signed with Mississippi State. And Jacob Horn, as well as Ryan Hampton, signed with Texas State. They'll go join former Ole Miss wide receiver coach Jacob Peeler at Texas State. In Winona, Andarius Coffey, all-area athlete, signs with Duke, joins David Cutcliffe in the ACC, and Adavian Hargrove signs with the Northeast Tigers. In West Point, 9 Green Wave guys signed to the next level. TJ Anderson signs with Hines, Jacquez Roby to Hines, Jordan Rupert and Dontarius Cannon to Holmes, Tyron Orr, Brandon Harris, and Jimothy Mays signed with EMCC. Robert Spearman signs with Coahoma, and Miller Kahn is off to Mississippi College. Over in Columbus, 4 Falcons signed to compete at the next level. Devin Boykin and Gerald Wells signed with Mississippi Delta. Cam Jenkins signs with Coahoma Community College, and Christopher Johnson joins the reigning JUCO champion Mississippi Gulf Coast. In Louisville, 9 Power Cats signed. Rankevius Johnson to Coahoma, Jemiah Harden to Hines. Listen to Louisville South. Nazir Brown, Caleb Mosley, David Haynes, Neselbian Kirk, and Jemiah Harden all signed with Hines. Jakevius Hibbler, Red Hibbler, that is, to Northwest. Christian Hopkins to East Central, and Dre Shoemaker signs with Northwest. In Noxubee County, 6 Tigers go to the next level. Kavarius Harris to Hines, Jaqueline Sherrod to McPherson, Jalen Barnett to Mississippi Delta, Edward Colvin signs with Hines, Jacarian Lockett and Marlon Wyndham sign with Coahoma Community College, and Jeffrey Malone will take his talents to Hines. Over in Nanawaya, The Turner brothers, Donovan and Devin, signed to join the Holmes Bulldogs. Tylen Glass will sign with Jones Community College. Shy Moore is off to Hines, and James Resch off to McPherson College. In Houston, Allen Robertson signs with Coahoma. WCBI Defensive Player of the Year Rish Alford signs with East Central. Jylon Davidson signing with Mississippi Delta. Those guys combining with a talented class that included Mississippi State signee Calvin McMillan. In Amory, 4 Panthers signed to the next level. Alex Chilcote signs with Millsaps. Jacob Cox to Mississippi Gulf Coast. Xavier Nizel to ICC, and Pete Moore signs with Missouri Western. In Heritage Academy, Ethan Bumgarner signs with Northwest. Davis Fitch signs with Belhaven University. Brantley Prescott and Carter Putt sign with Northeast. KJ Smith signing with Mississippi Delta. Those 5 guys joining Eli Acker and Jared Long for a big signing class out of Heritage Academy. At West Lowndes, wide receiver Jaquavius Quay Sanders signs to join Jones Community College. Sanders did it all for the Panthers, leading them to an 8-5 season in 2019. In South Lamar, a pair of Stallions signed to the next level. Malachi Ogland signs with Tennessee State, and Cameron Bird signs with Huntington College. Go over to our website, WCBI.com, to get more of these interviews as well. But continuing with signing day, Itawamba AHS sends 3 guys to ICC. Day-Day, Davian Sistrunk, Ike Chandler, and Anthony Dilworth signed. Ike Chandler, Mr. Football for Class 4A this past year. In Boonville, 3 guys sign with JUCO programs. All of them going to Coahoma, actually. Noah Sisk, Davian Price, and Amani Grizzard signed to join Coahoma Community College football. Some more signings from around the area. Caleb Agnew of Saltillo signs with Coahoma. Pontotoc's Trayvon signs with Coahoma as well. New Hope running back Braylon Miller signs with the MCC. And East Webster kicker Parker Burleson signs with Delta State. For the videos and interviews, all that good stuff, go over to our website. But just recapping some of the other big signings from our area. Shannon's Talon Doss signs with Arkansas State. He'll go play D1 football. Talented trio from Knox Bader, Kyler Carter, Raheem Hawthorne, and Ryan Whitfield signed with Northeast. Mr. Football in 5A, Randy Anderson signing to Northwest. All those other guys, those are Lafayette football players taking over Northeast Mississippi football, as well as Levi Lott, Mississippi College. Continuing, talented guys out of Oxford, John Marr and Clay Cromwell signed with Navy. They'll go play in the AAC and some competitive D1 football. Keon Williams, Byron Pearson, and Dude Person all signed with Northwest, as well as some guys, A.J. Tolliver, Scott Norflet, and Javian Gibson Holmes signing with Northeast and Northwest as well. Last stop for us, Jaquavius Beeman and Cage Palmer from Winston Academy signing with EMCC and Holmes respectively. The state leader in interceptions, Jacoby Williams out of Baldwin, signs with Holmes. Caleb Massey signs with Holmes as well. Some guys from the JUCO ranks, Manny Jones, he'll go play for Alcorn State. And JUCO Defensive Player of the Year, Keyshawn Parker out of Calhoun City signs with Missouri State. Carter Bonds headlining a big day for Corinth. EMCC, that's where one of the state leaders in tackles will end up. Tobias Brown in Northeast, and talented Moorville athlete Kason Mitchell signs with Colin. And coming up right after the break, we'll talk more about Mississippi State and Ole Miss's national signing days. We'll hear more from Mike Leach and Lane Kiffin coming up next. Welcome back to WCBI Sports. Mike Leach's first signing class at Mississippi State is complete. The Bulldogs filling a lot of spots in the early period, adding local talent with grad transfers. You just saw Rufus Harvey signing with Mississippi State. He's joined by JUCO transfer Kyle Cass. And then the big ones, KJ Costello, grad transfer from Stanford. Former West Point Green Wave and Alabama Crimson Tide Scott Lashley, grad transfer. He'll play with Mississippi State. Jay Banks of Louisville joining the Bulldogs. And Brandon Ruiz, a kicker out of Arizona State. They'll be joined by a high school signing, Jamari Stewart, with Rufus Harvey, as well as Trip Wilson and Hayes Hammond. You just saw those guys as well. So Mike Leach says adding Costello will be a big bonus to that quarterback room, adding to an already competitive position group.
I think it'll be a very competitive position, and by spring, I hope they can all throw strikes, and if they can, we're going to sort out, the best one from there. In the end, it's the guy that moves the offense the best, but one way to do that, if you can throw strikes, you can make 6 positions good, and so we want the opportunity to have 6 positions producing out there on the field.
Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss adding more to its 2020 signing class today, and the new Rebels head coach says they're not done just yet. The Rebels adding 3 today. That's Cedric Melton, Henry Parrish, and Luke Schaus on signing day today. They added Damon Clowney back in January, a 4-star commit, or 4-star signee, I should say, member of the Clowney clan. Rebels also adding grad transfers Otis Reese and Kenny Yaboa, but they haven't reached their scholarship limit, and Lane Kiffin says they'll be actively exploring the transfer portal.
A lot of people are going to be over 85, today. We're not, but a lot of people are, and, again, it's different. These kids leave so often, even though we had, I think, 5 go in and into the portal before we got here, and they all came back. Normally they don't come back. So I think people plan on, losing kids after spring, and so that's why we saved some too, because you'll see a lot of kids leave after spring where they're at because it's not going exactly, the way they want or the fit, and some of those kids can play immediately, some of those kids can come sit.
Ole Miss men's basketball also won tonight. More on that tomorrow. That's it for sports. Last look at your weather next.
We saw some rain on radar, some thunder showers. The heaviest activity now just moving off to the southeast of our coverage area, but there will still be some rain during the night into tomorrow. The sun develops a little bit on Friday. More rain possible next week, and a week from today, we may see another batch of strong storms. Hey, I know, I'm just a messenger. Don't blame me.
I know. I'm not complaining at you, Keith.
He's
I'm
just
complaining
like
at, I guess, the man upstairs for making it rain on us all the time. All right, thanks for watching us, everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.